Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my F1 2019 career mode here today. And we are here for round 4 of the season for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at Baku. If you guys missed round 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix, then go watch the episode, guys, by clicking the link in the top right hand corner of the screen before we jump into any major spoilers in this episode. But for this race, guys, we have no rain expected this weekend, which is good news. And we had our first wet race in the last one, so it's good to go back to the dry weather. Also, we have our first serious upgrades of the season. We did a small upgrade after Australia, but we've got a double aerodynamic upgrade on the car for this one, 2 minor upgrades, and we've also got 2 major chassis ones in the pipeline for the next race. So big improvements on the car on the way, and this is the first time this season that AI have taken a big step forward in development, and you can see that we're all pretty much progressing equally in this race, with I believe only Haas there maybe not bringing an upgrade, and McLaren. So yeah, Ferrari taking a massive leap towards the big teams, but overall it's positive for us because it means we keep our place, and we're second from bottom in terms of the R&D chart, so we are improving. And like I said, we've got a big upgrade in the next race, which will hopefully, if we can add an upgrade to it in this episode, and hopefully none of them fail, we may even become the 4th quickest team come the very next race if everything goes smoothly, and also depending on other teams' upgrades, of course. So there's a big possibility here of taking a big jump forward in the next couple of races, and I've already got my eyes set on Monaco as a big chance to pick up my first ever victory, because we finished in 4th place there last season with my previous Williams from last season. But nonetheless, that aside, we're going to focus on this weekend here, and for this weekend I'm going to try and go with 110% AI once again. So far I've only done 108 around China because it was just way too hard around there with the AI's pace, and Kubica was much quicker than me, so I had to do 108 around China. But for this one, we're back to 110, and you guys saw on screen a moment ago, we hit all of our practice program targets as well, which is good news, and we are going to score a decent amount of points. But now we're going to try and see if we can improve in qualifying, because the last qualifying in China was not a very good one. We got knocked out easily in Q1, and it wasn't the best session, but ultimately we didn't really have the pace. I had a very good lap in Q1 in China, and it still wasn't enough. We couldn't even beat Kubica, so I'm hoping for a better bit of fortune here this weekend as we hit the racetrack here at Baku. And straight away, this lap was my best lap, so let's run on board for an entire lap of the Baku city circuit here. And straight away for turn 1, you want to brake as the curb appears on the right hand side, really throw the car in and get the power as soon as possible on the exit, and then down to 3rd gear and really attack the inside curb there at turn 2. I find you can make up a lot of time, use 2nd gear if you need to, and then on the power once again as early as possible, as smoothly as possible as we go on the back straight. And now look for the 100 meter board for turn 3 as your reference, down to 3rd gear, possibly 2nd if you need some extra rotation like I do, and then quickly on the power once again, then back down once again to 2nd gear for turn 4, and sector 1 draws to a close. And so far 4 90-degree corners as we now go into a left-right chicane here, and so far 1.5 down on Vettel. Not the best first sector from us, to be honest, and even though there wasn't any major mistakes, not much pace there. But now in towards this right-hander here, I got a little bit wrong on the brakes, running a bit deep, and lost about 2-3 tenths there. I ran in very hard, didn't lock up, but I just completely missed the apex. You want to really attack the inside curb, and then through here I got a little bit loose on the back end, and I was struggling to really get the balance on the car, a little bit of oversteer on the exit as well. So overall, a little bit of time left on the table there through sector 2 as we now go flat out through these little kind of left kinks, and now down the hill. This corner here, very interesting one, because there's a lot of time to make up. I didn't get the line right, I tapped the inside curb too much, I kind of took off and I locked up, and then this corner as well, I just missed my apex slightly. But overall, a pretty okay lap, 2.4 down on Sebastian Vettel here. Sector 3 is our strong point, this is where we excel, and the Williams absolutely flies around here. So Sector 3 isn't really a concern, but ultimately this was my best lap of the session, unfortunately, and I wasn't able to improve afterwards. And unfortunately for us, this lap isn't going to be enough to get us through. As you can see there, we do actually set the fastest final sector and actually go faster than Sebastian Vettel there, but we lost too much time in the first 2 sectors, and we're currently last in P20. And unfortunately, I did go out again, and I was on for an incredible lap. I could just feel this lap was so much better straight away. The sun came out, the track temperature came up, and there was a lot more grip. And I absolutely nailed this first sector so far. You can see here, we're 2 turns up. We did brush the wall out of turn 2, but no major damage occurred. And now down towards turn 3 here, breaking that 100 meter board once again, and then that DRS goes offline, and unfortunately for me, it stayed open, so we cannot continue the lap. If it stayed closed, I might have tried to continue, but it stayed open, so I had to abandon the lap and bail on it completely, because we were just going to have a massive crash otherwise, and it's better just to save the engine as well. So unfortunately for us, is P20 again in qualifying, a disappointing one for us, starting from the back of the grid. And the last 3 races, Bahrain, China and this one have been very poor for qualifying. The AI just too strong over 1 lap, but race pace has been better, and I do feel encouraged that with those mistakes we made in sector 2 on the first lap, and also you add on the amount of time we found on that final attempt through the first 3 corners, I do think I could have, on a perfect lap, got into Q2. If you look at the lap times from Hulkenberg all the way down to Kubica, it was very close. But ultimately, it is going to be P20 for us in qualifying and back of the grid for round 4 for this race. But guys, that is it for qualifying. But hopefully we can turn it around in the race, because I feel confident we've got much better race pace. But it's time for round 4 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Baku City Circuit then, an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. Let's talk about Renault. We have a number of changes to the aerodynamic regulations this year, and the signs haven't looked good for them so far in terms of getting to grips with those changes.
It doesn't look promising for them so far. And if the new regs have hit them as hard as we think, well, I suspect they may need a few late nights at the factory to get back on track.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Gasly, Sergio Perez, and Raikkonen, Hulkenberg, Fiat, Magnussen, and Lando Norris. Leclerc, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Ricciardo, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Sainz, Albon, Stroll, Max Verstappen and Roman Grosjean, Kubica and Martinez. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right, so here we are then on the grid for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, starting from 20th place on the grid. Not ideal, and we've got a lot of work to do. If we want to score points, we're going to need to be really, really strong and overall just be flawless, really have a fantastic performance. We've got Kubica to our right-hand side, so the Williams car's back on the last row once again. Even with all of our improvements, we gone back to the back of the grid at this race. Just goes to show that the car isn't quite there yet, but hopefully the upgrades that are coming will hopefully improve us massively going forward. But guys, it's not the end of the world. I think I'm confident in our race pace. I think we can turn it around. Historically, our race pace has always been stronger than our qualifying pace, especially around these kind of tracks, Baku, China and Bahrain. So we're going to jump into it. Strategy-wise, we're going to start the race on the mediums. The team recommends to go onto the hards. I'm going to try and see if I can get to the soft tyre possibly. So I'll see how tyre wear progresses and I'll kind of judge it on the fly. If I can get to the soft tyre, I'm definitely going to run it. So yeah, we're going to see how we get on. Hopefully it's a decent race. With that being said, let's jump into it. It's time for round 4 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Right, here we go. Let's build up the revs here and get ready for the 5 red lights for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Lights out, and away we go. Decent start off the line. Big lock up from us. I was going to go down the inside there, but I thought that Haas was going to commit to it. We get the switchback though on Grosjean. I'm going to try and go down the inside of Kubica as well. Into turn 2, side by side my teammate. Both of us on the medium tyres. Kubica gets better traction. I'm going to tuck in for some slipstream on my own teammate. Can we go for the re-overtake here? Very late on the brakes. We're going to go around the outside of Kubica there. I was looking around the outside of Verstappen, but it wasn't going to work out. Verstappen is on soft tyres, so it's probably important for us to not really be too involved with that Red Bull, because he should be a lot quicker than everybody else. We know how fast that Red Bull is this season. So if anything, let's just try and follow Verstappen here. When he makes overtakes, we'll try and go through there with him. But at the minute, looks like the Renault in front of him was on soft tyres. Seems like there's quite a few soft tyres, but also I see a few mediums. I say that Renault's on mediums. I just saw it now, just to confirm it. So seemingly only Verstappen on softs, but of course he must have qualified on those in Q2, so that's why he's probably started on those tyres. So let's try and follow the Red Bull. We've got a full ERS battery to deploy. We've saved it at the start. Normally the AI used theirs very early on, so we can definitely attack, which is good news. As that Renault gets out of shape, and Verstappen really putting them under some serious pressure here. Slipstream's going to be key, you know, the way we manage it and the way we use it. Make the overtakes at the right times. It looks like Verstappen's going to get a move on the Renault here. My gut tells me it's probably Nico Hulkenberg. Or it might be Lance Stroll actually, I think. Yeah, he's not behind us, so it's probably Lance Stroll. And there you go, we're going to get the slipstream. And we're going to try and pull off a double overtake here because we need to not lose time, and it is Stroll. We're going to power past, no need to even turn the engine up as we power through. And Kubica is making the move as well. I'm going to cover the inside though because I know what they are like and they tend to go very late on the brakes. Verstappen down the inside. I'm going to let him go. I'm just going to try and follow him for now. Kubica gets past the Renault, which is good. Or at least they're side by side. But good progress from us on the medium tyre. Let's try and follow Verstappen now for this lap. And see if we can stay within DRS range for the next lap. Verstappen putting more pressure on this time on the Toro Rosso. We've stayed within range and close enough for a nice bit of slipstream here. We are going to use a little bit of rich mix and DRS deployment just to stay close. Oh, that was close. Verstappen almost taking the pair of them out there. We're going to get the slipstream. Go to the outside. Toro Rosso giving us a bit of a squeeze there, but we are going to blast past the pair of them and make the move.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available.
Verstappen still can't get past. I had to go down to second gear there to get the rotation, otherwise I was going to run deep. Let's try and catch up with the cars in front. DRS is enabled now, so we are going to have to defend. Albon will have DRS on us, so I've got to turn the engine up here to stay in front, but let's try and catch the cars in front who are battling away. It's Giovinazzi and the McLaren, so let's get after them. Both of them seemingly also on the medium tyres, so that's good news for us. Let's try and get ahead of them. Oh, yellow flag. It's the Haas in front of us. Yellow flag, can't overtake. Green, back to yellow. And back up to speed again. We can get past now. But that's ruined our advantage.
Okay, clear.
Lando Norris out of the race in the McLaren. Or sorry, in the Haas. I'm still thinking he's in the McLaren, but he's in the Haas. We're getting into Giovinazzi here though. Into turn one. I'm not going to commit to it. Unfortunately, our momentum was ruined because of the yellow flag, so we couldn't quite make it work. Let's just try and follow for now, or dare I say maybe get into turn 3 possibly. That's a good bit of traction from us, but Gio has some really strong DRS on the McLaren in front of Carlos Sainz, so we're just going to sit back for now. Just trying to hang on to DRS here from Giovinazzi. He's really going after the McLaren. There's a massive breakaway though. We're so far behind the rest of the pack because of that yellow flag. We lost so much time.
Caution, caution. Green flag, green flag. We're racing again.
Green flag as Sainz gets overtaken by Giovinazzi, who locks up. We're going to tuck in there behind these two now and really close up. Verstappen now behind us. Big lock up for me there, but we get it slowed down in second gear. We've got to try and time the overtake on these two guys at the moment because, like I said, slipstream is important. It's all about timing as they're battling in front of us. Not just like literally in front of us, but I mean like up the road as well. So the battles are ongoing here. We're close to Giovinazzi. I thought about having a look there, but he defended the inside. So we'll keep the pressure on the Italian, but he's going to stay in front for now. Verstappen just tagged me there. Not quite sure what he's doing, but he just nicked my rear end there. He's gone down the inside here. Not the usual place to overtake at. We are going to be able to stay in front of the Red Bull, but he's getting impatient. Good old Max Verstappen. So we're going to turn the engine up just to respond to him attacking us. He's looking for it, but we've got the slipstream on Giovinazzi here. So he can't pull out the toe and overtake me because I've got the run. Gio has no DRS on Sainz, so we're going to blast past. Verstappen not too far behind either. We're going to take the apex and avoid Verstappen going down the inside. And there we go, job done. Unfortunately, we haven't got any DRS range of Sainz, so Sainz is going to stay in front for now. Verstappen's got the engine turn up here and he's definitely got some good pace. But not enough pace to get past for now. Verstappen's just dropped off a lot here. Not sure what's happened to him, but he's just slowed down a hell of a lot. I'm also on an incredible lap here as we're really closing up the Sainz. Also debris on the road, and we're catching up to a Mercedes here. Not sure what the hell's going on, but we're making fantastic progress all of a sudden. Verstappen's really dropped off. I think he might have hit a wall or something. That could be possible. Maybe he struck a wall at the castle section. But we've got ourselves within the DRS range of Carlos Sainz, which is good. I'm going to turn the engine down here and use it to save some fuel in the DRS because we've used quite a lot in this early part of the race. As Verstappen gets overtaken by Giovinazzi, we're gaining on Carlos Sainz here. We have got the run. We're going to go to the inside. Personal best. I'm hot though. Very hot. Got it all wrong on the braking, unfortunately. And we dropped back out of the DRS range. After trying so hard to get back within a second, we've lost it all again. Let's get back on it. There's a Mercedes that we're catching though. Something's not right with that Mercedes. Sainz is going to overtake that Mercedes. The question on is who is it, and it's Valtteri Bottas as the other McLaren pits in, or Kimi Räikkönen. So we've got our first guy in the pit lane. As Verstappen re-overtakes Giovinazzi behind us. Let's try and get after Valtteri Bottas here and try and get past that Mercedes. And try and get past Sainz as well. I should have got past him by now, unfortunately, but we absolutely messed it up into turn 1. Okay, we're on the back of Bottas here. Let's make this move and use the DRS and slipstream to really get a massive slingshot. Although we're a little bit too close, I think, to really get a major slingshot, but we will get the benefit of DRS. As we're going to pull to the right hand side of the Mercedes. No need to turn the engine up because we've got enough speed to overtake him. But we will take DRS. Or not, I've actually missed it. I've timed that terribly. I completely switched off and Bottas is going to get the run on me here. As we've got more cars in the pit lane, we are going to, luckily enough, stay in front. As the leaders rejoin in front of us. There's Pierre Gasly on hard tyres. He's going to rejoin just in front. Right then, let's get a head down. Let's keep pushing. The race is long. There's a bit of a train in front of us into turn 3. And they're losing a lot of time. So there could be more positions up for grabs here. We've just got to try and keep our nose clean. And we're trying to battle too heavily, and I need to get back past Sainz because I'm annoyed I passed him and I've missed a chance and I can't seem to get back within his DRS, which is quite annoying.
Some information on Hulkenberg. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Okay, I think he's in front, just up the road. That's good news for us. At the minute it's looking like we could score a point here if all things go according to plan. Very good line through there, that's the line you want.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the hards.
Kevin Magnussen in the pit lane, so we're going to rejoin, or should I say get in front of him. As Sainz gets overtaken by Gasly, but I think Sainz might return the favour here. I don't think this is over and done with just yet, which is good news for me, because if the battle continues, it's better for me. I'm just so close to DRS, but not quite close enough. Let's see if I've got enough engine power to get within range of the pair of them. I think I'm just going to miss out, unfortunately, unless that little feint. Okay, we've done enough. Yes, we have. There we go. That's big. This is our second chance to get past Sainz here. I'm going to wait for now, though. I'm not going to commit to anything just yet. Because I don't want to make the same mistake as last time. I want to make sure I pass him comfortably. Hulkenberg just in front of Pierre Gasly here. Sainz has taken a very compromised line there. That's going to give us a chance. Sainz does have DRS, but we're going to have a great opportunity here of overtaking the McLaren down the inside. Nice little move. Squeezing Sainz into the wall, so he had to back out. And now Gasly's stuck behind Hulkenberg, so let's try and get him as well. And there's a Toro Rosso not too far up the road either. We know the Toro Rosso is a slower car now, so on paper we should be quicker, but then again qualifying proved otherwise. But look at these two. Hulkenberg quite clearly struggling. Let's get after that Renault. I don't think he'll be too quick. We can get past him quite quickly and put some distance between myself and Carlos Sainz maybe. And then we've got 2 racing points behind Sainz as well. They're going to be quick on hard tyres. There goes Gasly around the outside. This often doesn't really end well as an overtake. He backs out sensibly. Oh, look at that. Nice little switch there from Gasly to the inside. Well, I've got to try and time this. I've got Sainz behind me as well. Timing on this move is going to be crucial, but we've lined it up beautifully. Now we're gaining on them. Gasly goes for the feint. We're going to pull to the right hand side and turn the engine up. Now DRS open, and there we go, up to P5. Fantastic timing on the overtake.
We
not sure if I am. I'm really leaning towards going for that soft tyre. I think it'd be a game changer. And it'd really make the race interesting. I'd have to get to lap 16 for the soft tyre to work. As Pierre Gasly's lining up for a move behind us here. I've got my engine turned up to 100. And we stay in front. But yeah, I'm going to try and get to that soft tyre, so I'm going to try and stay out a few more laps.
Don't forget, box this lap.
Okay, Pierre Gasly will pass me this lap quite comfortably. I've done my bit, he can now get on with his race. Won't cost him too much time. Well, having said that, he's struggling to get alongside me on the straight. We're holding our own, so if he doesn't pass me, I'm going to defend. Kvyat pits in, as does Sainz. They're going in for the hard tyres. We're going to commit to these soft tyres, giving Gasly the squeeze on the exit there. I want to try and run the soft tyres. That would give us something different for the final part of the race, and I think we could be a lot more competitive. I'm going to make sure I stay in front of Gasly now, because I don't want to be overtaken into this next corner. And there we go, job done. Fantastic race so far. Racecraft has been on point. We've managed it beautifully. Oh, I'm pulling away from Gasly here. He's not catching me at all on the straight with DRS, and I'm running standard engine mode, so very surprising as Leclerc pits in. Big lock up from us, losing the back end there mid-corner. Got to be careful with that. Gasly's going to get very close.
Robert is coming in for his stop.
Looks like Gasly might have been charging the power unit and the battery. Either way, he's not close enough. Let me stay in front.
You're probably feeling quite a bit of tyre wear about now. Stay out as long as you're quick, but there's probably not much left in them.
Yeah, I'm struggling. Here comes Gasly. This time he is turning the engine up. I'm not going to defend too much. This time he should be able to make the move. I'm going to even help him by running low ERS, so hopefully he can get past and there's no dramas. We can take the racing line. We can just use his DRS to minimise time loss. 2 more laps to go on these. We can make this. Hopefully the soft will go 10 laps. Even that's a bit of a stretch for the soft tyre, but it should be fresh, so it should be okay. Right, we're going to pit in this lap. Very good first stint. And
okay, remember to pit this lap.
Yep, gambling also on tyre life, but we've done a good job. I'm just hoping the soft will make it to the end. I think it will make it, but we might struggle in the last couple of laps. But I'm hoping we can make the difference, as Perez is going to pull alongside to make the move. We're going to meanwhile prepare for a pit stop, so we're going to turn the engine down. But we need a good entry here. Aggressive. We're out speeding. There we go. That's pretty decent. Now we need a decent stop from the boys. A sub 1.9 would be ideal in this scenario. And we should rejoin just outside the points in P11, I think. Here we go.
Complete, go now.
There we go. There's Sainz. So we're going to rejoin just behind him. So
okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
considering Sainz was just behind me here when he pit in 4 laps ago, that's how much he's gained. That's not much at all. And we've now got the benefit of the soft tyre. So let's make it, you know, let's make the most of it and use it straight away. There's a couple of cars up the road as well we can definitely overtake. So let's get after him, let's get stuck in, and let's make this final stint a memorable one, because I think we can definitely score some points here today. Purple sector 2, good pace from us. It's rare that we go fastest through there, which is a complete AI sector. Could I pick up the fast up of the race? Maybe. If I time this slipstream, which I have, we should pick up the overspeed. I don't need to run more ERS in this because I'm going to pass Sainz quite comfortably. Job done, there we go. Let's try and pull away if we can. We're gaining on these guys. I don't think I'm going to get DRS. If I'd got DRS, I'd definitely set the fast lap of the race, come in the race, and I'd take home the point, but I'm too far away. I was hoping to nick some DRS, but it's not going to happen. But we are going to make up a hell of a lot of progress as Raikkonen pulls alongside, or tries to pull alongside the Alfa Romeo, and actually, no, Raikkonen's going to pit in, I think. Yes, he does, so that's us having the 9th place already.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
Fast lap of the race. And we're behind Danny Rick, yellow flag behind us.
VSC deployed. The virtual safety car has been deployed. We need to keep a positive delta here. Slow down, maintain a positive delta.
Wow, that was close. I almost hit Ricardo there. Not sure what that's for.
Okay, some information on Bottas. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
Well, now we know what. Right then, so it gives me a chance to cool down the tyres. It was definitely going to help, you know, get these to the end a little bit easier as well. And I can maybe go for an even faster lap maybe if I time it right. At the minute, the 3 cars in the straight in front of me, I can definitely overtake them.
Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until the green flag. VSC ending. Wait for green.
Right then, let's try and get past Rick Bobby. After the VSC, everybody turns their engine up, which is normal, but we've got some, you know, something in the tank of our own, so we can definitely compete. Let's get a good exit. There we go. Job done. I shouldn't even have to turn the engine up for this one. It should be a fairly straightforward move. Unless the Alpha's very quick on the straight, which it could be, but it looks like we're already gaining here without even turning the engine up or any DRS. So here we go. Slipstream, DRS on the Alfa Romeo of Daniel Ricciardo, and it's an easy overtake up to 8th place. Magnussen and Kvyat in front of us. Must know some more positions. I'm just hoping the soft tyre holds on long enough. Okay, we're 2 tenths down on our personal best, but this time we have the benefit of a beautiful slipstream all the way down to the pit straight, so I think we could improve on our fastest lap here. We're gaining on Magnussen, that racing point's quick on the straight, but we've turned the engine up into bridge mix and now we're starting to gain here. DRS, there we go. Do we improve on our fastest lap? We'll find out. Up to the line? No, we don't.
We're going to box this lap. Push hard on the in-lap.
We are absolutely not boxing this lap, mate. Forget about it. We're fighting for P6 in this race. That's a good line through there. That's what you want. Fantastic line. We've absolutely dropped Magnussen. Let's try and get back at Kvyat this lap if we can. Okay, we've just nicked DRS on Kvyat. Nowhere near passing him on this straight, but it could happen on the next one. Or, actually, what I'll do is I'm going to charge my battery up for a lap. And my fuel. We're going to set everything up for 1 lap.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
We don't just overtake him, but I want to make sure we overtake and we pull away because he's got decent pace Kvyat, so let's just follow him for now.
Okay, mind you don't get caught out on this set of boots. We have started to notice some wear. We should be okay for a bit longer though.
I think I should be okay. We might struggle at the very end, hence why I want to try and make sure that if I do overtake Kvyat, it's definitive. Here we go, that's what we're going to do now. We're going to try and save my ERS to pull away from Kvyat rather than overtake him with it. We've got a nice bit of fuel to burn, so we're going to use that on this lap. Here we go, overtake mode engaged. Let's get past him. A bit of lag, but we are going to get past. Job done. And up to P6. Fantastic recovery in this race. Strategy on point. Let's try and pull away from him if we can. Focus on our exit there. Taking a bit of a different line. And that's good. You can see the arrow dropping away. Let's keep pushing this lap.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
I think we've done enough. Gap was 1.1 over the second sector split. And yeah, there's no chance Kvyat's got DRS. So there we go, job done. We've pulled away. Let's keep pushing for the remaining laps. Try to solidify this P6. Rear tyres are looking pretty knackered. I can feel it. Right rear 62. We've really cooked the rear tyres with this stint. Worked really hard. I've got to be very careful now. I'm trying to drive carefully and try and have some rear management because, dare I say, we might be in trouble come the end of the next lap. So I've got to be careful. I'm struggling big time. My tyres are hitting the cliff. Kvyat should stay out of the RS range, at least for this lap. But it could be a drag race next lap round, so I'm going to have to save some fuel in the RS just as a precaution. But we're definitely using the rears. You can see the right rear's on 70. It's gone up 8% in 1 lap. This is going to be a very, very tight final lap of the race. Very risky. No mistakes allowed. We've got to be perfect. The rears are so sensitive. I've lost all grip and the tyres have hit the cliff. Struggling for any form of traction as Sebastian Vettel wins in Baku and picks up the fast lap of the race for now. Kvyat's on the back of me here. There's contact. He hits my front right. We go sliding over the bump. Somehow, though, we stay in front. Kvyat's looking for it. We're going to protect the inside. We've got to time this. Kvyat has a look into the far chicane. I've got to actually get out the throttle because I'm going to lose the back end at high speed. Now we turn the engine up and we should be okay now. Overtake mode. I've used up all my extra fuel, so it's going to be a drag race. Here comes Kvyat. Come on, last bit of rich mix across the line. Is it enough? Yes, we just stay in front. On the line.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
What a fantastic race it was. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today: speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again.
Right, so looking at the final race results, Sebastian Vettel wins for Ferrari, and Ferrari's first win of the season. They've been, pretty quiet so far, and have been scraping podiums with Charles Leclerc, but that's a big result for Sebastian Vettel, who's had a pretty poor season so far, and he needed that, and he also picked up the fast lap, so he scores an extra point. So 26 points here today for the Germans. Lewis Hamilton, P2, and Charles Leclerc running off the podium with a 1-3 for Ferrari. That's big points for them in the constructors. Pierre Gasly, P4 in the first of the Red Bulls, and then we've got Sergio Perez, best of the rest in P5, fantastic race from him. And then we come home, driver of the day, P6, from last place on the grid. The strategy was on point, stretching at the mediums onto the soft tire was the way to go, and ultimately proved to be the difference. Danny Kvyat, P7, Daniel Ricciardo, P8, Kevin Magnussen, P9, and Max Verstappen in the second Red Bull, scoring the final point here today with Carlos Sainz and Kimi Raikkonen, both McLarens missing out on the points along with Stroll, Albon, Hulkenberg, Kubica, Grosjean, Giovinazzi, and then Bottas and Norris retiring from the Grand Prix. But in terms of what the race means for the standings, you can see that we are currently in 7th place, and we are 4 points clear of Perez and 12 points behind Pierre Gasly. Sebastian Vettel up to P3, overtaking Charles Leclerc, and Hamilton 25 points clear at the top of the table. And in terms of the constructor standings, Mercedes lead the way by 20 points. We drop down to P5 as Racing Point overtake us here today, unfortunately for us, and Red Bull in third now as they get overtaken by Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship, and the top 3 teams covered by 30 points after 4 races. But the good news is that we've actually extended our gap over McLaren slightly, so the battle is on. It's going to be fierce, but I need Kubica to score some points, but that might happen in the next race with the big upgrade package we've got in store. We've got 2 major chassis upgrades in the way, and we're going to add to that right now as we jump into the laptop and put some upgrades onto the car.
You were cutting your way through the field during the race. You're surpassing all expectations. Can anything or anyone stop you? You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners? Appreciate your time.
Okay, so we have a contract negotiation to take care of first of all, and we're going to go for the following terms. So first of all the perks will be in level 3 as always, and we have P9 as qualifying position, P14 as race position, first driver and hard team goals, and I think that should get comfortably accepted.
All right, the terms have been agreed. All that's left is to sign the paperwork. You'll be on this new deal from the next race weekend.
That's good news, and also the good news is we've actually hit our team goal, which was 8 practice programs. So we've already got 2 major chassis upgrades on the way for the next race. We're going to add to that now because we've got more points than I actually expected. So where do we want to invest? To be honest, the chassis is going to improve massively, but it could be better. So I'm going to go for another chassis upgrade, this time for the weight reduction. We're going to get that on for the next race. And also, with Monaco in mind, I think it's only fair we do an aerodynamic upgrade. And I think the best one to do for Monaco is probably rear downforce, I'm feeling, because the front, even though we have some understeer, I want to have rear end stability on this car, so I can then take more of a risk with the front downforce. So I'm going to go for rear, so we've got overall more, performance, more grip, and more confidence with the car. So we're going to get that on, and that would make us the 3rd best team in the aerodynamic department, guys. And with the chassis upgrades, we should jump up to at least Racing Point, maybe somewhere around there. So overall, some big progress being made, and in terms of the R&D graphic, we've got 4 upgrades on the way, and we should overtake McLaren comfortably and become the 4th quickest team in the next 2 races. But guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Career Mode. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like on the video, and also get subscribed if you are new for daily Formula 1 content, and also turn on notifications so don't miss any videos from me. And finally, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you on my next episode very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.